On the hunt for quality businesses of all types, and today we're going to talk to a veterinarian in a minute. I just want to mention this segment of the show is brought to you by the Scanner Experts and by Military Auto Center. And be sure to go to their website, militaryautocenter.com, and askascannerexpert.com. And my first guest today is Dr. Dio, as I understand that's how I'm to say it, right, Dr. Dio?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. Dr. Dio is a veterinarian who practices in the South Bay area, and I just have a few questions for you, Dr. Dio, and then you can elaborate. First of all, what is the mainstay of your practice in particular, and how would you describe your mission statement as a veterinarian? What is it you'd like to do?
Well, our practice is located in Chula Vista on 1038 Broadway. Our main mission statement is to serve the community and the pets, keeping in mind the community is our family. We'll treat every pet like we do our own and our family's pet, not to try to sell our service, but try to educate the public and their clients the proper pet care. And whenever pet care is needed, then we do total job and charge fair fees to build up our good reputation in the community. So we had a very busy practice located in Chula Vista.
Yeah, I was talking to Misha Tomlinson and Johnny Nevada, and they spoke very highly of you. I know Nisha is really an animal lover. She's in charge of the Feral Cat organization. She helps cats. In particular, that is her passion. What would you say is the bulk of your patient load in your practice?
Well, bulk of our patient load is our dogs and cats mainly. They do get all kind of health issue like people get health issue. Beside on preventive care, with medical care, with their surgical care, one of the most common diseases we treat are like skin disease is the most common disease we treat. Second most common disease we treat is vomiting, diarrhea. Time to time we get like traumas and toxicity, poisoning. Some of those diseases we treat fairly common. As far as preventive goes, we do give vaccination, the spay neuters, bathing, grooming services.
Oh, good. And you do bathing, grooming as well.
Yes, we are full service hospital that open 7 days a week.
7 days. What are the hours?
We are between 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday.
That's amazing that you're open extended hours like that, because nothing is worse than having your pet get injured or become sick and not be able to find a vet and listen to them howl all night, which I've experienced.
Yes, pets don't think not to get sick during late hours, so we do serve the community late hours.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, you said you do spay and neuter services as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And in the practice itself, and I understand from Misha, it's a quite busy practice. Do you have other veterinarians, or are you the primary?
Well, I am the primary veterinarian, but we have 4 other doctors. We have about 28 nurses.
Wow.
That at a time we can handle a little bigger case volume.
Yeah, that would be...
We are accredited to practice by American Animal Hospital Association. So about 14-15% American practices are accredited by that authority. That we follow 900 different codes to run our practice. With 5 doctors, 28 nurses, I think we do in the community the job that the community is looking for.
Boy, that's for sure. And I wanted to ask you on the jobs that you do, surgical things like eyes. Do you refer out eyes?
Yes. Well, we veterinarians are trained to take care of medical aspect. In human medicine, they have 21 different kind of specialists and 60 other different kind of paraprofessionals to help them. We do everything ourselves, including eye treatment to C-sections to pediatric care to orthopedic surgery to big surgeries, skin diseases, all kind of diseases.
Wow, that's incredible. And so, just drilling down a little bit here to specific things, because I have two dogs and they obviously have issues. Like when a dog gets a wart, I'm calling it a wart, but is that a common problem for older dogs?
Absolutely. Little warts, the skin warts are a common problem. 80% of those warts are usually benign tumors. They do get skin tumors, one of the common medical problem older pet. 20% tumors we remove, they turn out to be cancerous. So every wart, any growth, any raised mass need to be looked at and maybe aspirated, get a little cytology from it that give us some clues if it's cancerous or it's benign growth.
Yeah, and about what would be the typical age of I mean, dogs live to be different ages depending on the size and the breed of the dog, I would imagine. Do you have any kind of a spectrum you can give me?
Yes, little dogs that weighs less than 20 pounds can live 17, 18 to 20 years. A 20-year-old Chihuahua is like 96-year-old human. A 10-year-old Rottweiler that weighs about 100 pounds is like 85, 90-year-old human. So a larger dog doesn't live that long.
They don't live as long as the smaller ones. I wonder why that is.
It's just their genes.
Genes. Okay.
Cats live over 20 years.
Yeah, yeah. And it's always sad, of course, to lose your pet. And are you connected with pet cemeteries, or do you?
Yes, we do. The lifespan of average pet is going up in the United States like in human. Due to all the proper nutrition and proper care, all the medical advancements. But at the end of their life, sometime there is a care that the owner expects us to do. But at the end, when we have to humanely euthanize a pet, if the pet has multiple health issues, or if we see the pet is in discomfort or pain, yes, we have the service. We work with pet cemeteries.
You do. So I'm not familiar as much with Chula Vista as I am up the coast here in this area, and so I know that there is a pet cemetery near one of the biggest.
In Sereno Valley.
Yes, in Sereno Valley. Yeah.
And they serve the whole county.
Oh, they do. Okay. Yeah, well, that's interesting. So now, when let's go back to the living pets. I'd rather talk about them. When a pet is very young, how do you start them out in life? Like, for instance, I adopted a pet out of a shelter.
That's nice of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, what do you recommend in your practice right out of the bat when you adopt a pet?
Well, when pet is adopted, first thing is to take to the vet and get checked out, make sure there's no existing medical problem happening. And the pet would need proper vaccination. Not every pet need every vaccination, so talking to veterinary staff to figure it out what the risk factor, what the lifestyle of pet is. The pet going outdoors, the pet going to be going hunting, camping, or not. Not every dog need every vaccine. But important customized vaccinations, yes, they need to be given and prevented. So vaccination is one thing. Proper skin care. Dog need to be bathed periodically. In summer, probably once a week to once every 10 days. In winter, could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks apart. And then proper nutrition. Nutrition is a big part of it. So you wanted to talk to the veterinary staff about proper nutrition, proper skin care, what vaccination they need. And on top of that, most pet does need behavior training. People get a dog that the dog's, you take the dog home, dog is jumping, it's barking, it's digging holes in the yard and making mess everywhere, and people take them back to the shelter.
Yeah.
So behavior training need to be done as equally important as everything else.
Very good. I'm so happy to hear you say that, because many people don't know that, they don't recognize it, and then they're in trouble because here they have a pet that won't behave. Our dog had sort of neurotic behavior. She was, every time we left her alone, I forget what they call that, but she would, we couldn't leave her in the car, even with the windows cracked.
That's called a separation anxiety.
That's right.
Because people treat their pet like their child, and pet gets spoiled very easy.
Yes, yes.
So we see that all the time. So they do need proper training. It's equally important like anything else. Plus, on top of that, there are certain medical conditions people can catch from pet. So pet need to be dewormed. There's certain internal parasite that can be contagious to people, and a lot of public don't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Actually, study shows 10,000 people catch worm from their pet each year in America.
Wow.
It's a huge number. Majority pet does.
Yeah.
Pet owner does not know that.
Huh.
So pet need to have proper their stool examination, their deworming done periodically, external parasite control. Because some of external parasite also can be contagious to people. It's not uncommon. When we see a pet owner bring a pet with skin disease, they also have skin sores.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So the human can get sores from their pet.
Most common are Sarcoptes mites, little external parasite. Second common is the ringworm dog get from the dirt. It's a fungus that can be contagious to people. Few other conditions that can be contagious to people. So we need to talk. People need to talk to their veterinarian to prevent those issues.
Yes. Well, when we come back, can you stick around a little bit longer?
Absolutely.
Okay. When we come back, I want to ask you about ticks and Lyme disease, and there's a whole lot more, so stay with us right here on San Diego's finest business radio on the UT Radio Network on WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.